Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So we're looking at our next question, which is going to be x squared minus 10x plus 16. So we want to factor that. Well, we know the answer will be a binomial. We know that we'll put an x at the beginning of both because it's x squared. We want two numbers that multiply to give 16. So 1 and 16, 2 and 8, 3 does not go evenly, 4 and 4. They sort of double over, so I can stop there. If you were to continue, you'd find the next one that you would get is not 7, but you would find 8 and 2. So I can stop here. So I'm looking at these pairs of numbers. Which two pairs of numbers will go together now to give me negative 10? 2 and 8 can, as long as it's negative 2 and negative 8. Let's see if that works. Negative 2 times negative 8 does give me positive 16, and negative 2 plus negative 8 does add to give me negative 10. X times x is x squared, negative 8x, negative 2x is negative 10. It all works. So you're getting the correct answer when we check it. Yay! Let's look at the next one. We want to factor that, so we know that it's going to be two binomials, an x and an x. I want two numbers that multiply to give 5. Well, that's only 1 and 5. That's it. Now, they have to multiply to give 5, but they have to add to give negative 6. So it needs to be negative 1 and negative 5. When a negative and a negative multiply together, they'll give me my positive, and when they add, they'll give me my negative 6. And so, doing a quick check in my head, x times x is x squared. Negative 5x, negative x, plus 5, x squared, negative 6x, plus 5. Yahoo! We are right. And we're going to remember what we're actually saying here is this is equivalent to this. This is what we call the expanded form. This is what we call the factored form. Okay? Let's keep that in mind. All right, last example. The rectangle has an area represented by this trinomial. So this entire area in here is represented by this. Now, what we'd like to do is to factor the trinomial and find an expression for the dimensions of a rectangle. Well, a rectangle has the dimensions length and width. Generally, the length is supposed to be longer than the width. So, if we are able to take our expression for the area and factor it, then that would be my length and width. So two numbers that multiply to give 21. So if I take 21, make my factor tree, 2 doesn't go evenly, 3 and 7. It's a prime number, so it's only going to be these two or these two. That's it. Which two will go together to give me 4? Well, that's 7 and 3. So I'll put a 7. I'll put a 3. I forgot my x's. X and x. Now, it needs to be a positive 7, and it needs to be a negative 3. Now, let's look at why. They need to multiply to give a negative. So one has to be positive and negative. And 7 times 3, 21. Positive times negative is negative. But they need to add to give a positive, which means the larger one needs to be positive. So 7 added to negative 3 still leaves me with positive. So it's got to be the 7 that's positive. What we know now is that we have a length that can be represented as x plus 7 units. And you have a width that can be represented as x minus 3 units. Calculate the actual dimensions. If x equals 50, well, that means that the length would be 50 plus 7, which would be 57 units. And the width would be 50 minus 3, which will be 47 units. And that's the answer. Well, there you go. All right, guys. We'll give you some practice on this. You need to be able to factor trinomials. You definitely have to do it for next year. There's no question about it. And you'll need it for anything in grade 11 or grade 12 mathematics. Okay. Talk to you soon.